So let's see where I'm growing lettuce. Look at these containers. Oh, I love my growing boxes I make. It keeps all the whitefly and aphids out and everything. You've got 9 in one, 10 in another, 2 in another, 9. There's 30 of them growing on this table. And I plan on getting a whole lot more. Now let's go to the deck where the hummingbirds are. I've got this one growing in a sour cream container. I put Tulle on there. I don't know why. I'm not going to transplant it. I'm going to leave it in there. Zoe's very excited. She doesn't like lettuce, but I think the plant looks pretty to her. Then you've got the flower pots here. Here's one in a flower pot. Here's 2 growing in a milk container. Look at this, just a regular food container. And then over here in a flower pot, I've got 5 more lettuce growing. Whoa. And then is there more? Oh, you betcha there's more. I've got more flower pots on the deck. I've got one here. Look at that. I think I've got a geranium growing in there or something. But there's one little lettuce there. And this, well, it's actually a kid's toy. We can talk about that another time. There's one there. So far, we're up to 41. Then we've got one in a dish pan growing with a lot of marigold seeds. Then we've got another one, let's see, over here in a flower pot. I don't remember what was there, but marigolds are coming up everywhere. I've got one growing in this pot that really needs some desperate makeover. And then I've got this one. Look, a basket from Dollar Tree, just in a flower pot. Now, this is one of my biggest ones. If you look over to the left, you'll see a bunch of plants rotting in that blue bucket. I've been watering it with that one. And then look at this. I don't know what's coming up. There's a squash. There's more lettuce in the back. We got 3 more there. Is it 3 or is it 4? Let's say, there's 4 in that pot. So we got 4 more lettuce here. Now we've got another one in a dish pan coming up with some zinnias that are growing in there. And what else? Oh, here is a waste paper basket. Went off to the side. And yes, Zoe's got to make sure that I'm counting my lettuce right. There's a whole bunch more here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoa, I will come back and count it in a minute. Another flower pot with some more growing. So now we're up to, I believe, 63. Let's keep looking on the deck here. Now I've got some in a flower pot. We've got a few there. So you count them. I'm counting them too. And then I've got about, looks like 4 of them in there. Then we've got here, this is just a window box from Dollar Tree. Is this not really cool? And I've got some zinnia seeds growing to the right in there. They're growing everywhere. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? They haven't even been in there that long. And then I've got one there. Oh, we've got a whole cluster in there. Let's see. Okay, I'm counting them. Is that not cool? The big thing that was in there was a lettuce going to seed. And then I've got another 4 here. And let's look on the other side on the rail. Oh, there's my hummingbird dot. And there's one. And there's another one in there. There's 2 in there. I do wash these really well when I use them. But the hummingbirds are watching my lettuce. Oh, they'll probably eat the bugs off the lettuce. I saw a hummingbird chasing a bug today. And then I've got another one growing in this trash can, a plastic trash can painted red on the outside. Look at, is that not cool? And then we've got, oh yeah, there's one more on the windowsill in a flower pot. Look at that, basking in the sun, watching the hummingbirds all day. Or maybe the hummingbirds are watching my lettuce to keep the insects out. But there it is. I think we're now up to 85. Wow. Now let's go look at the dog kennel, the small one. So this is the standard dog kennel that I grow in. It's the 8-foot long, 6-foot high. So we've got some lettuce growing in a dish pan. Remember, you can get them at Walmart. They're really cheap, under $5. There's a dish pan from Dollar Tree growing 3 beautiful lettuce with a celery on the side. And then look at that. I've got lettuce growing in a cardboard milk carton. 2 of them in there. And then again, that kid's toy, we'll have to talk about that green pot when Dollar Tree gets them in again. And then I won't count that one. It went to seed. It is a lettuce. And then a lettuce growing in a soap container. Look how beautiful. Now I'm harvesting from this all the time. These have been in here for months. And I keep getting salad every day. There's a few in there and there. And then, oh, another milk carton with 2 of them in there. We are now up to, 113. And I thought it was 101. Now I've got this box. I'm going to guess there's about 50 of them in there. This is how I start my seedlings. And then I've got another one. These are like shoe boxes with probably about 200 lettuce in here. This is how I grow my lettuce. My goal is to have at least 100 going at all times because there's nothing nicer than having lettuce. And a beautiful lettuce plant, that can last for 2 to 3 months if you know how to take care of it. So that's what we're going to get into today. That is a seed head from a lettuce. So now you can see how we can incorporate lettuce into all kinds of plants that we grow. So now you know that you can tuck lettuce into a lot of different plants, your flowers and everything, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to grow. And if you wanted to, you can keep it in these small cups. Now keep in mind, the smaller the container, the smaller your lettuce usually will be. Of course, if you feed it, it's going to grow really big. That's a marigold in there. But I wanted you to see how easy it is to grow. I'll show you in a minute how I do the seeds, but look at this. You can just pull it out with a spoon, and I get the silverware from Walmart. You can get it from the dollar stores. You get, what, $4 for $1? And I use that to just spoon it out and just separate it. Don't worry about the little roots. They're really so anxious to grow that you really can't hurt the lettuce. Now trim off anything that's yellow or brown, and then separate them and start planting them. Now, in these small cups, these plastic cups from the dollar store, the point is I would only put 1 per cup. You can put 2, but they just, will be competing. So you may get less or smaller lettuce, lettuce leaves. It could be a smaller plant. But you know what? Keeping in mind that lettuce makes a good microgreen, you can grow it any way you want. It's your garden. They don't have to be really big. Just think how expensive baby lettuce is in the store. So you could grow it to whatever size you want. They're more tender that way too. 1 though per cup will do really nicely, but I'm going to show you in other videos that we can use many other food containers, cottage cheese containers, yogurt containers. They'll be double the size and your lettuce will be bigger. You can also use dish pans from the dollar store, and you can get 3 or 4 lettuce in one. They do like having something with a little depth to it, so don't go too shallow because they really do send their roots in there. But we also can feed them for free. Now, if you want to buy plant food, that's up to you, but you don't have to. But we'll get back to that in a few minutes. Now, see what I'm doing? I am using soil that's already dampened. I make sure my soil is wet or damp before I plant. So I get everything in there, and then I start moving my lettuce in there. And with my finger or using the silverware, I make a little hole. Here I'm looking for the nicest looking ones. I mean, after all, I've got hundreds in that tray. So I might as well use the nicest, healthiest looking or most robust plant. I mean, I've got so many, so I might as well go that way. But if I can, I plant them all. I mean, my goal is to have 100 lettuce growing at all times. And I'm going to tell you, I grow it here all year long because I'm controlling the environment. So if it's too hot, I find a shady spot for it. And if it's cool, I find a nice sunny spot and keep it well watered. I am controlling the temperature for my lettuce. So I make sure I can move it if need be. Now look how easy it is to transplant these. And keep in mind, all those lettuce that are growing in these trays cost me nothing. Oh, notice here how I kind of give it a little tug to pull it up so I know the roots are nice and straight under my plant. And I do let some of my lettuce go to seed, so I am constantly having a source of lettuce seeds here. Young plants can take transplanting much easier than larger plants. They stress out, these do not. These are just so excited to get some size to them and take off in life that this manhandling isn't even going to faze them. And now I want to make sure everything is well watered. I'm going to water my seedlings back that are in the tray, and I'm going to water each cup. And do keep in mind that all those cups have drain holes, and so does that tray. This is going to go in one of my enclosures I made, so no bugs or insects will get to my lettuce that I'm going to eat. Now what you can see here is a lot of baby lettuce, and what's in here are seed heads. Now you do have to keep them outside because you will need the bees or little pollinators to go in there and pollinate your flowers. But once you do that, you're going to have thousands of lettuce seeds, so you won't have to ever buy it again. All you have to do is wait till it's dry, crush it, and put it into any large container, water it, and you're going to have thousands of lettuce as well. And the lettuce I'm growing is romaine lettuce. I find that the fastest growing lettuce, and I like the taste of it too. Now going back to plant food, we can make our own. If you want to buy it, you can buy it. I do not. I do it nature's way. I usually take any type of brassica leaf. I put it in a small bucket or a container of water, and I let it rot. Then once it starts rotting, even when it smells, you put a little bit in your watering can, and you have your own fertilizer for free, and they'll take off. And you can grow lettuce in free containers, milk containers. And here's one that is going to seed. See how the flower spike is coming up? And soon it will have flowers and then seeds. And you can also take those milk containers, I've got videos on that, and cover them in fabric. They look attractive, and nobody's going to know there's a milk container underneath. Now, I will tell you, outside, I leave the seeds. They get really bushy, and I let the goldfinches forage on that. And then there's always going to be seed for me because they can't eat them all. Well, here they are. These are in my containers. I think you just saw me do the video. Look how big they've gotten, the ones I put in the first ones. And I'm still putting more and more lettuce in there. That's why they're small ones. It's good to have them cycling through. So as you see, one plant gets a little old, kind of worn out, or going to seed, because it's really hard to stop it. Cutting off the flower spike does not make it start growing bigger leaves. It's pretty much at the end of its life, and that's when you start letting the smaller ones take over and forage from there. And you know how I do it. I take the outer leaves and then I chop them up and make a salad. In the meantime, the center leaves are still growing. I don't do the cut and come again. I prefer to let the plant do its thing, keep growing, and remove the outer leaves. That is more natural for the plant. Remember, the outer leaves go yellow, and I don't leave any yellow leaves on. If I'm not going to eat it, I want it removed. The plant will go for many months this way until either the weather warms up or it's done and wants to just set seeds. So I hope I gave you some tips and ideas on how to grow lettuce. It's really easy. Make it portable so when it's really hot and sunny, you can move it in the shade. Make sure your soil is damp all the time, but light and fluffy, and don't let it dry out, and you should be growing a ton of lettuce just like me and making wonderful salads. With that, have a wonderful day. Ask your questions, please like and subscribe, and tell me what you think about this. And I'm telling you, those little growing boxes I make are a lifesaver, and I love them. I'm so happy I came up with it. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to eat what you grow.